I've been a fireman for 21 years. Got hired with the city of Vernon, and we transitioned over to county 5 years ago. I've been a paramedic for the last 14 years, and worked every day in that seat. I'm 58 years old, and I'm from that generation that boys don't cry. We suck it up and move on. And working through the heart of COVID, and working as a paramedic in general, the calls we saw were horrific at times, tragic at best. And there's never any chance to ever decompress. And the culture is that we really just shrug it off and go have a beer after work. But we're very good at compartmentalization. Everything that you see at work stays, and then you put on your dad hat or husband hat, and you go home, and over time the compartments start to blur, and the drinking tends to bleed one into the other. And me personally, I got injured at work. Started taking pain medications, and over time the usage just got more and more. And in the last couple of years we had some tragic losses at work, and my usage continued to grow and grow. Prior to going to treatment, I didn't even realize I had a problem. I didn't realize that I was truly depressed. I'd been injured September 1st of 2023, and had spent basically the entire year off. And in that time, with the lack of work and lack of purpose, I started isolating more, spending more and more time in the dark, drinking, taking pain medication all day long, and hiding it from my family. And when I was called out on my behavior, I really had this moment of clarity where I was on a one-way path that was going to end in my death. My wife called our lead therapist, and he basically told me, don't move. He called FRR, and the next day I was in treatment. And treatment saved my life. It saved my life in every way. I got to treatment understanding I had an opiate addiction, but I honestly believed I didn't have a problem with alcohol. And through therapy and treatment and being honest and open-minded with staff and myself, I quickly realized that I have an issue with alcohol and all drugs. And just being in a residential treatment facility, receiving therapy daily, really brought about a change, an emotional and spiritual change in me. Actually, all the modalities of treatment that were offered, I found very helpful. TM, Transcendental Meditation, was fantastic. It really allowed me the ability to have some buffer between my initial emotional response and a more thoughtful, present response. But from sound bowls to breath works to going to meetings, they were all beneficial. After detox, I started treatment from day one. I was attending groups even while detoxing, which I also think was really beneficial because I was raw. There was physical and emotional pain that I was able to process from the day I got there. And then we had, I would say, 30 days while I stabilized, and my body chemistry kind of leveled out, and it just allowed more and more clarity. I don't know if 30 days or 45 days is the magic number, but I think there is a definite correlation for me were the time through detox and the time that I was kind of clear-headed really was beneficial to receiving that shot. The SGB shot is the stellate ganglion block. It's a shot in a nerve root in your neck. It is a local anesthesia that they inject under. You are awake. It is a reset. For me, it was a reset to my nervous system. It brought down that heightened sense of awareness that I had. The very next day, I could feel a difference. After the SGB shot, I noticed a decrease in nightmares, night sweats, night terrors. And I was a candidate that the right side, which is one they recommend, lasted for only a couple weeks. I was fortunate enough to receive a shot on the left side, and that I still feel the lasting effects today over, I guess it's about almost 80 days later. The effects of the SGB shot are an overall decrease in your heightened sense of awareness, a calmness, or a decrease in anxiety, and better sleep. I noticed after the shot that it was easier to remain present and not be emotionally triggered. So if I were to get cut off while driving or start on a conversation with somebody that was going to lead to a potential argument, there wasn't the emotional response. I was actually able to listen and just respond. So the Sunday visitation was incredibly important to me. I know it was important to my family and my wife. It really allowed them to see the progress I was making in real time. We were able to spend time, watch a little TV, catch up. You know, I think they really noticed a difference within the first couple weeks that I was finally present. So I completed the program. I was fortunate enough that FRR found an IOP for me, which is an intensive outpatient, which I go to now 5 days a week. And it's 2.5 to 3 hours, and it's group therapy. And it allows me to continue progressing. I got a sponsor through AA. I go to 3 to 4 meetings a week, and really work on the meditation part and the mindfulness and being present. I think for the issues that I was going through, that if I had been in a general population residential program, it would have been impossible. We can almost finish our sentences or the other person's sentences. And I think it was crucial for being able to become emotionally vulnerable, that these were people that had seen similar traumas that I had experienced. The overall experience at FRR was incredible for me. I believe they saved my life.